All right, Bills Mafia. It's the NFL aficionado fiend here, and last night was not a good night for us. Uh, I needed to take some time. Thought about doing the video last night, but I was just absolutely fuming over what I witnessed the Bills put on the field in front of their fans on Sunday Night Football. And then I thought about how I had to listen to Kevin Wiles's Door of Destiny speech, Nick Wright talking about the Bills are the September champs, and here we are, and all that nonsense that went with it. So, wanted to take a second. Again, I know everybody does their instant reaction videos to the game and stuff like that, but I wanted to take a second, kind of breathe for a second, think about it, and then kind of give you my analysis of what I saw. So. Absolutely atrocious first half. The play call for first, just the jet sweep to Dawson Knox. What is Joe Brady thinking? So first fumble of the game there. I have no idea where that play call came from. Curtis Samuel maybe, but other than that, why are we doing this trick stuff at the beginning of the game? It's the New England Patriots. Come on, guys. uh, completely gone there. And then, amazingly, the Bills, Shaq Thompson causes a fumble. We basically get the ball right back in our hands, and then we do nothing with it. So I pretty much knew from there that the game was going to be a wash. That the Bills didn't have it last night. They clearly weren't playing their best game. Honestly, I think Babbage had a little bit better of a game than Joe Brady did calling the game. But I mean, overall, it was just, what are you doing, Joe Brady? Why are we not getting James Cook more involved in the passing game and calling passing plays for him and let him make use of his deals? I think last night he zeroed one target in the game, and that was because Josh had to throw him the ball. That's another thing too. I know Josh wants the deep shots down the field, but there were plenty of times where I thought, based on the game footage, based on the Sunday night, the live version, Josh had an open receiver, a check down to go to, versus hold on to the ball and go for hero ball and try to throw that deep touchdown. We've seen that just does not work with these guys. We don't have, Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, those are the deep threat guys, but honestly, we just don't have that. And it's very clear teams are going to play that cover two shell. They are not going to let Josh push the ball down the field. He has to dink and dunk. He has to become Tom Brady, dink and dunk down the field, be Mahomesian with it when you don't have the ability to push the ball. I'm sorry. It's a proven formula, guys. It works. So anyways, but yeah, so Josh was off. I don't know why Cook wasn't getting the ball. Now I've said this before. We knew we were going to get the best punch from the Patriots. You had Stephon Diggs coming back to town, so you knew you were going to get his absolute just all-out A game. In fact, I think that's this game and the game in New England will probably be Stephon's two best games of the year. However, I think the one in New England is not going to be as good because Bills Mafia really turned on Stephen, and he wanted to dig at us at Highmark Stadium. So that was his by far probably best game of the year that he did last night. And not to mention that Tre'Davious White, it was a great story of him coming back, but man, that dude he is getting cooked alive right now. I mean, he is not a number two corner anymore. It is killing us that we lost Dorian. I think if Dorian Strong had played, Diggs would not have done what he had done last night. I truly believe that. I think Dorian Strong was basically Tre'Davious was so bad that the Bills coaches and McDermott were having to put the rookie on the field because it was just apparent he was playing better. I'll get into the optimism side of this right now, but now I'm on the rant of just how bad we played. Offensively, just receivers were dropping. Receivers weren't making catches. Josh was holding on the ball way too long. Yeah, he had some wild throws, but we weren't doing what we needed to do. The offensive line looked like they were getting handled. I don't know what's happened to Osiris Torrance and Connor McGovern, but they're getting pushed around in the center now. I mean, everybody was talking about giving those two guys extensions, and the guy that's absolutely played the best has been the guy that nobody's talking about giving an extension to, and that's David Edwards. I mean, McGovern and Osiris Torrance, it's like they have forgotten how to play center and guard. I know there were a couple times, hey, Josh had all day to throw and stuff like that, but I think that's just basically because the Patriots, hey, they did some kind of rush and dropped 8 and said, Josh, we're not going to give you anywhere to throw the ball, or we're going to force you to take a check down and make somebody miss. And Josh just, again, I get it, but he just refused to take that quick hit. I mean, you've seen it clearly. There were so many times he did that whole, I'm going to fake and move and do this and run to the right. And bro, no, call the plays, go where the open guy is. That's what made that offense work last year, not this try to go score 40 points a game type team. Run the ball, protect the ball, take the short throws, methodically drive down the field, protect your defense. Your defense is crippled right now with injuries. You don't need to be scoring in 90 seconds or less. You need to take 7-minute drives, 8-minute drives. Like when we came out of the third quarter and we had that long drive for the touchdown when we got the ball, I said, okay, Josh gets it. We're now going to methodically move down the field. But you can't do that when you have all the penalties we have. I don't know what's happened to this team ever since the Thursday night game in Miami, but last week was horrible for penalties. This week was horrible for penalties. I mean, it's like the Bills are sleepwalking through this part of the schedule when this is when they need to be stacking wins and go get that number 1 seed. But yeah, just a total bomb of a F game from the offense. 20 points against the New England Patriots does not cut it when you're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. S-Bob. It just, does not cut it. And that pick that Josh threw in the third quarter, when basically we were going down, had at least a field goal on the board. That was like that was sugar high Josh. I mean, literally, I watched it as he threw it and said, "Dude, it's about to be picked." Boom, got it. Now I know there's I've heard some talk of Curtis Samuel maybe not ran the right route, and he kind of pulled, and Jones kind of left him to go get it. But dude, as soon as the ball left his hand and I saw it live on TV, I was like, that's about to be picked. Khalil Shakir is clearly covered. And that's the other thing, too. We've got to scheme our receivers open. If we know we don't have receivers who can beat man coverage, we have to start scheming our receivers open. And that's on Joe Brady. For the wonder kid that Joe Brady was last year I don't think he's as hot a candidate for a head coaching job after what he's doing right now with that Bills offense, because they just can't sustain anything. Sorry, but you played a great first. You played a terrible first half yesterday. So I don't think he's the hot candidate anymore. And I'll be honest, Bobby Babich, if he doesn't pull something out of his hat between now and the end of the season, he may be looking at being demoted back to a positional coach and then get another defensive coordinator in there. Because ever since McDermott has given him play calling duties, I have not been impressed with what he's been doing. And like last night, Stephon Diggs was the clear guy to go for in that team, and we just could not cover him. We basically left Tre'Davious White on him all night and said, go cover the guy. And we know Tre'Davious is not the cornerback he is. The other thing is, man, Deion Walker, I think, is going to be a stud. He's a rookie, so he gets a pass. But Greg Rousseau, where are you at, bro? You signed this huge deal in the offseason, and this was supposed to be the step, and you've regressed. You've actually gotten worse. Christian Benford, where are you at, man? You signed this nice extension. Yeah, you cut us a hometown discount. Don't get me wrong, but man, you have not been. Dude, they're cooking. We don't have a 1 or a 2 cornerback right now with the way we're playing. Matt Milano injured again, so that's terrible. Shaq Thompson looks like he's doing pretty well. Terrell Bernard played decently. Impressed with him. Cole Bishop still struggling to kind of learn the offense and stuff like that, but man, our defense is in some serious trouble if they don't figure this out. It's bad. So anyways, I was on the offense, now I went to the defense. I mean, the biggest thing I see on defense is play calling and then tackling. We can't tackle anybody. Dude, I mean, Stephon Diggs, we took so many bad angles last night. We gave him the 150 yards he had receiving last night. But we take bad angles. We over pursue. We get out of our rush lanes. It's just, man, this is probably the worst defense. Last year's defense was bad. I'm afraid this defense could be even worse. And it just kind of got covered up a little bit by us going 0-4, because like when I realized how bad of a schedule like their first 4 games was, and again, Baltimore, I get it. Hey, they were there, but they ain't no S-Bob now. Not that the Houston Texans put 44-10 on them, and they're so injured. But basically, man, that really worried me. That, man, basically we hadn't beat anybody with a winning record, and here was New England coming in here 2-2 with a chip on their shoulder and with a guy who has something to prove. So we kind of walked into a buzzsaw last night for sure. But the entire team played terrible. F on defense, F on offense, F on the coaching staff. The only guy I can say is that punter we signed, he did pretty good, and then Prater did put it through to tie the game when we couldn't go get a touchdown because Josh decided he had to throw it. You know, Josh extended the play for 15 seconds, throws it to Shakir, who somewhat was open, but Shakir stops running and allows the cornerback to come hit him and not go get the ball and get that first down. So just overall, terrible night. I'm cranky as hell about it. I think I finally, the game went off about 11 o'clock, midnight East Coast time, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time in Dallas where I'm at. And so I was just so angry at what I saw, man. I don't think I got to bed till midnight, and I had to get up. I have to get up extremely early for work, so I think I maybe got 3 hours of sleep because of how bad we played and how disappointing that was, and how much I did not want to listen to Kevin Wiles today and his doorstep of destiny BS that he's going to be singing all day long. In fact, to hear him tell it, I'm sure the New England Patriots are going to win the AFC East and knock off the Bills this year. Drake made this, Drake made that. And then Nick Wright, of course, and his September champs. Here it is, boom. You know, the only thing that kind of saved us a little bit is Philly crapped the bed as well. So they lost to Denver at home. We lost to the Patriots. Really don't know who's better between those two teams, Denver and New England. But yeah, and then I had to listen to one of my stupid Steeler fans tell me how the Steelers managed to beat the Patriots and cause 5 turnovers on Drake May, but Buffalo couldn't do nothing with them at home. So yeah, not a good night to be a Bills fan. Very upsetting. So all right, enough negativity. You know, guys, hey, the sky is not falling. We're still 4-1. We're still heavily favored in most all of our games. The only game I don't see us favored now against is Kansas City. Or we split it basically because we're the home. You know, it's a 1-point spread because we're the home team. Depending on if we pick it up and depending on what Kansas City does tonight. Because remember, I picked Jacksonville to win that game. I think they're going to knock them off at Jacksonville. Anyways, all right. So back to the positive. So that was the negativity, man. Hey, done with it. Moving on. Looking at the positive side. We're 4-1. Okay, so we still are first in the deal. I think we dropped to second in the league. The Colts have moved to number 1 based off their tremendous win yesterday against the Raiders. But we are 4-1. That's not about. There's plenty of teams out there that would trade their left arm to be 4-1 at this point of the season. Okay, so that's number 1. We're 4-1. We have won. We've won 3 games against Cupcakes by double digits. We had the amazing comeback victory against the Ravens. So hey, man, sometimes it just doesn't bounce. The ball just doesn't bounce your ways. So that's what it is. It took 3 turnovers and 11 penalties to cost us that game, and we still only lost by 3 points. So again, positive here. 3 turnovers in the first half, and all those penalties, and we still only lost by 3. We were tied going into 5 minutes left in the game, 3 minutes left in the game. Okay, so I take that positivity away from it. The other positive thing I take away from it is our defense is still not fully what it should be if we can get healthy come playoff time. Michael Hawk's coming back. Larry Ojobu's coming back. TJ Sanders missed last night. And Oliver didn't play. Landon Jackson may start showing up on the radar. Dorian Strong, hopefully he gets to come back. Maxwell Harrison's still sitting out there. Hopefully he gets to play this year. So those 2 guys, I believe, will push Trey down to a reserve role. You know, maybe play special teams. I don't know, but I don't see any room at this point. I'd rather inactivate Tre'Davious White and start Jamarcus Ingram. I mean, that's how bad he's playing right now. I know he's a long-time Bill, but yeah. So anyways, Dorian Strong, 4 games IR. Maxwell Harrison still waiting to open up his practice window. So there's 2 corners sitting on the bench. Number 1 draft pick. Hey, you got to come in. If he is that guy, hey, come in. Or if Dorian Strong can get over this neck injury and only be out 4 games, which is a positive. They didn't put him on IR for the year like the Ravens defensive tackle. They just gave him 4 games. Hey, dude, let's let it heal. Let's see what happens. And basically, those dudes guys come back. I think they help solidify our back end. I'm still dying to see Jordan Hancock on the field. I don't know why he keeps getting these game inactives. I'd honestly at this point, man, hey, put him out there for Rapp, or put him, let him play the safety positions and find the best combination between Hancock, Rapp, and Bishop, or Cam Lewis. Put him out there. You know what I'm saying? And find out where he fits, because the guy's a playmaker. So I really like to see him actually step onto the field. So again, our defense is not fully whole. We haven't had our D tackles. We've been playing practice league D tackles almost the entire season, other than week 1. So I think when Ed comes back, that'll allow people to slip into their deals. And then 2, when we get Hawk and when we get Abijano, I think that's going to help our depth as well on that defensive line, because Larry is a solid player. Hawk, I don't know. Some people are really high on him. He didn't really impress me that much, but look at EJ Moore didn't really impress me in the preseason, and the guys were an absolute stud as that gadget role. I think him missing last night really hurt the Bills offensively. I think the gadget plays he runs, they're trying to get Curtis Samuel to do it, but I don't think he's as good as EJ Manuel. Or EJ Moore, I just don't. Sorry, EJ Manuel, you know who that is. But yeah, so anyways, all right. So the defense isn't fully healthy, okay? So we still have a bye week coming up. After that, hey, we really only have one tough game, and really there's only one contender we play, and that's Kansas City. The Eagles game in Week 17. That's a weird game and a weird spot. We may be playing something. We may be playing for something. We might not be. I don't really know. I think the Bills, because we end our last 2 games at home. I definitely don't think you want to lose to Philly if both teams are up for it. But at the same time, this is where that rest and rust and all that stuff goes. And let's say the Bills go on a run. Let's say Kansas City, we do lose to Kansas City at home, okay? And then we run the rest of them. So we're sitting at what, 13-2? Yeah, no. 2 losses. We'd have 1 more game, so 17 games. So we'd be at 14-2. No, we'd be at 13-2 going into the Philadelphia game, okay? Or, hey, let's say we beat Kansas City and we go on a run after this loss. Okay, so we beat Kansas, so we're now 15-1, and at that point, the teams may be locked up, because if Kansas City loses tonight, they're going to be sitting at 3 losses there, So I know Indianapolis, but I'm still not sold on Indianapolis, and they just lost their kicker. But anyway, so, all right, so back to the positives. So, again, I see the defensive reinforcements coming. Hopefully the offense can figure out what's going on. I don't think the offense is mainly play calling to me. Right now, it's strictly Joe Brady getting too cute in the offensive side of the ball to make things happen. So, if he can figure out, if he can find that rhythm he had and call plays, I think that will be what solves the offensive issues and opens things up. I think we have to realize teams are not going to let us throw deep. We need to pick our shots. Hey, 2 or 3 times a game we try to go deep across the field, but otherwise cross the deals, break-ins, things like that to kind of really free things up. So okay, so yeah, and then McDermott. Hey man, I'm not the biggest fan of McDermott, but I recognize the guy for what he is. You don't have the success he's had. Yes, he got Josh Allen, but I don't know a successful coach in the league who did not have a Hall of Fame talent quarterback or an elite quarterback for years of destined success. Okay, so you can't sit there and say any coach had a bad quarterback and they won. They may be able to do it for 1 or 2 seasons, but other than maybe Kyle Shanahan. But that he's an offensive guru. McDermott's not that. But I believe in McDermott. I believe in him riding the ship. I believe in him getting them where they need to go. And this loss was maybe needed to kind of refocus the ship because Buffalo was starting to drink their own medicine of, oh, hey, dude, we got a cakewalk schedule. Buffalo needed to be reminded that you're going to get every team's best shot every Sunday because you're one of the elite teams in the NFL. I mean, literally, if the Patriots don't win another game all year, they can hang that on their wall that they knocked off the undefeated Bills at their home on the whiteout game, all that jazz. So, yeah. So anyway, so those are the positives. Again, Bills Mafia, the sky's not falling. We've got time to rectify things. It's early in the season. Don't forget last year, same spot. We got ran out of the building by Baltimore. We lost a terrible game to Houston. Again, injuries played a big part in that. But just remember that last year we lost 2 in a row and we absolutely looked terrible. And we went 13-4 and ended up in the AFC Conference Championship game. And we're really a drop pass from possibly playing in the Super Bowl. Don't know if we would have beat Philly the way they were playing, but anyway, so just kind of keep that in mind. Hey, Bills Mafia, we're still a good team. Yes, we have deficiencies, but honestly, I don't know a team in the NFL right now that doesn't have some kind of deficiency somewhere along the way. But I will admit this: for the first time yesterday, I was ready to admit that, hey, I don't think if we played Detroit on a neutral field, I don't think we beat them right now with the way our defense is playing and with all the offensive problems we have. Now, we get that stuff figured out, I definitely think we can hang with Detroit. But we've got some serious things that we have to figure out before we go play Detroit on a neutral field. So right now, that's where I'm at. Anyways, Bills Mafia, just remember, stay calm, breathe deep, 4-1. We're still first in the AFC East. We still have a clear path to the number 1 seed as long as we handle our business. Nobody goes undefeated. It's only happened one time in the entire league, and many moons ago. And I don't think we're ever going to see that again for as long as we live. So, anyways, stay good out there, Bills Mafia. Stay with the faith. Remember, we got Atlanta next Monday night, and hopefully Josh Allen decides to show out. It is in Atlanta, but it is Dome Stadium, so hopefully Josh and them boys decide to show out on Monday night and rectify that disaster we saw Sunday night. So, as always, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know how you mourn the day of loss. Let me know, is your panic meter on a 10 or is your panic meter on a 2? I'd say my panic meter right now is about a 2.5. That's me personally. But again, I've been a Bills fan for 35 years, and I've come to learn how to deal with some of these off days that we have as Bills fans. So anyways, as always, guys, let me know what you think. Comment on the video, and do good, be good, go Bills.